Hello guys, Tops here. Today I have another build video for you guys, and I decided to update all of the build videos because some of them are very old and people have asked, so I'm redoing all of my build videos. Also, you know, I'm just older, right? I played more games, so some things might have changed, but not too much in general. So, how to build a fencer. So, the fencer is a special build for a special bro. It's entirely designed around the fencing sword and the second ability, lunge. As you can see, we basically jump one tile and then do damage based on our initiative. So, right away, we want to have as much of initiative as we can get. At the same time, we need as much melee skill as we can get, and ideally as much defense as we can get. We have an oath that reduces our defense right now, so normally this guy has 38 melee defense. This is by far the best fencer that I ever found, and yeah, this run is like over a year old. We did it live on stream. It's insane. So I found an oath taker who max rolled on melee attack, initiative, has triple stars in both, and he was dexterous. So we had like 72 melee skill at level 1, basically. And yeah, triple stars. He's level 15, we ended up with 110 melee attack. So the Fencer is the most stat intensive bro and the most perk intensive bro. There are basically no flex perks in this build, and there are not... You never find the perfect brother for this. Like, there are not enough stats for this brother. The best backgrounds for the Fencer, in my mind, 100% Oath Takers. So you want backgrounds that have high initiative and high melee attack, while also having good stats in other like areas that are important, like good HP, good fatigue, good resolve, good defense, right? And the best bro for that is definitely, in my mind, the Oath Taker. People will argue you can take an Assassin as well. He has good attack, defense, and initiative. Problem with the Assassin he has like less fatigue and dramatically less hit points than an Oath Taker. So the good thing about an Oath Taker, as you can see here, he has on average 63 hit points. So we can just give this guy Colossus and never level hit points, and we get to like 80 plus hit points. Right, so we have, in combination with Nimble, we have a Fencer that is not getting injured by the first hit, or like is like getting two-shotted or even one-shotted by certain abilities. So just for the protection aspect and the rest as well, Oath Takers are the best. Yeah, so ideally you want to find somebody who has like very high initiative, very high melee skill, and good defense. That's also important. You can get away with a little bit less defense because you will have a lot defense from dodge, but still. These are the baselines. You will always skill initiative, melee attack, and defense. You will never skill anything else on this build. Never. Every single roll goes into initiative, attack, defense. Nothing else. Very important. Right? So now the perks. You are a duelist. Duelist works on this weapon because you have your offhand free, right? Stabby stab stab with the lunge ability of the sword, which I will show you in the near future in a fight. Maybe let's talk shortly about the gear. You want to have as light of a gear as possible, so famed nimble armor like the wolf helmet for 4 fatigue. Every fatigue point is also an initiative point, so like a helmet that weighs 4 fatigue also costs you 4 initiative. Right, as you can see, if I take this off, we gain 4 initiative. Now we lose 4 initiative and 4 fatigue, right? So light famed armor is ideal for this character, which in this case we don't have it. We have a normal nomad armor, which is essential is we need the hyena for attachment, You need 3 hyena pelts to build it. That gives us plus 15 initiative, and basically, ideally, negates the entire penalty from having the sword, the armor, and the armor set. Ideally, you have the sword that weighs 4 fatigue and then like 11 fatigue or less in body and head armor, so you basically maintain the highest possible initiative on this character, right? Because every single point of initiative is damage. Okay, now to the perks. Perks that you absolutely need for this build is Relentless. Relentless means that your initiative is never reduced by waiting, pressing the wait button, which a lot of the time you want to do. So the AI moves and you see where they are, so you can plan ahead and move after that themselves. Also, your initiative never drops. It's always 50% of your accumulated fatigue rather than every single point of your fatigue. So you always have high initiative, even if you are fatigued out or you press the wait button with this build. So Relentless, absolutely essential for this build. If you don't have it, it doesn't work. Same with Sword Mastery, absolutely essential because you're gonna use a lot of fatigue, right? And like just for the fatigue reduction, you need this. Next thing, Nimble for primary defense. I don't think I have to say much about that, but again, I'm gonna go into detail because a lot of people ask me to go into detail. There are a lot of newer players recently, so Nimble means you get up to 60% damage reduction if you have 15 armor or less, like 15 weight in total from head and body armor, which you can see we have 40% nimble, we have exactly 15 fatigue worth 15 weight of our armor. So nimble for defense, absolutely essential, probably the best perk when it comes to defense and you don't want to wear heavy armor, right? You go nimble or Battleforge in this case. Nimble because we have light gear, right? Okay, so we want Berserk. So every time we kill something, we gain another 4 action points, which means we can basically lunge again, right? The idea of the Fencer is to just ravage into enemy lines and go on the back line, right? Kill the front line, go on the back line, flank them and just murder everything, right? It's a damage build, so we want Killing Frenzy, which combines nicely with Berserk. So once we killed an opponent, we get 25% damage boost for 2 turns. Yeah, that's kind of the combination. We go for Berserk, Killing Frenzy. We want Duelist, so plus 25% of our damage ignores armor. So this essentially means that we go to 45% armor penetration on this weapon with like really high damage from our initiative. Can be devastating. You can see how much damage the launch attack does combined compared to this, right? You can see we do 43 to 62 with a normal slash attack, and with the launch we do 86 to 123. You can see how much damage that is, and like most enemies in the game, most smaller enemies have 75 hit points or less with low to medium armor. You will basically one-shot these enemies, and that is the entire goal, to one-shot these low HP to medium HP enemies and just basically destroy everything, right? Another essential perk for me is Recover, for the same reason. It will use all of our fatigue and we cannot level fatigue, so you can see Lunge takes 19 fatigue to use with a non-faint item. So we will basically, if you lunge 3 or 4 times, you know, let's say we lunge, you can only lunge 2 times per turn. Let's say we Berserk, so we lunge a 3rd time. You can see that's already 57 fatigue. Then we pass the turn, we will recover 15 fatigue, then we will lunge 2 times again, and then we probably have to recover for the next turn. The next turn we probably have to either kill something low and recover, or we have to recover and wait the turn. The nice thing is if we kill an opponent, we gain 4 action points. So we go back to our 9 starting action points, so we can then immediately recover, and then we have enough fatigue for the next turn. Right? So recover is absolutely essential on this build. Dodge, we gain 15% of our current initiative as melee and range defense, which, as you can see, we have 173 initiative, and we will probably never drop under 130 initiative with this brother, even if we are completely fatigued out. So yeah, we will always have like roughly plus 20 defense, plus 20 melee and range defense from dodge. So this perk is insane. We gain insane value from that. Colossus, just to increase our hit points to a certain threshold where like we are less likely to get injured if we get hit, and we are very hard to one-shot, right? Which like injuries can definitely kill you, right? This is a very, very easy way to die in Battle Barrage. The next thing, and I think this is also a non-negotiable, I didn't take it on this brother, and like I didn't like it. See, I didn't took it on this brother either, and I didn't like it. You need Pathfinder. Let me explain why. If you fight in the forest and you don't have Pathfinder, you can go only 2 tiles per turn. If you fight in the desert, you're gonna basically out-fatigue, right? If you fight on hills, in the snow, right? If you fight in the swamp. So basically, almost every fight, Pathfinder does a lot. Especially on a bro that uses a lot of fatigue. And like this guy, the main reason, this is a flanking brother, normally. We need to get with this guy into position every single time. So Pathfinder is so important on this brother. And I don't have it here, and I really miss it. That basically means I cannot use him in a lot of fights because we do not have Pathfinder. He's just useless. He's just crawling around his 2 turns. And like that basically means if we don't have Pathfinder and we're in the forest, like instead of going 4 tiles, we go 2 tiles, which means we are twice as slow. So like we will take 2 or 3 extra turns in order to get to our opponents, right? Which basically means we are doing nothing. We're not doing any kind of damage. And normally we are like 1 turn full move, 2nd turn move, and if we are lucky, we can already then use the lunge attack, walk 2 tiles, use lunge. If not, we have to walk again, but then the next turn we can lunge. Alright, so these are the perks, pretty non-negotiable. I mean, you can try to use Overwhelm and maybe 9 lives, Underdog, Gifted if you like, but I really think these are the core essential perks. If you take any other perk, you will miss it. And you will not see the full potential of this build, basically. Here's the second guy. He is huge, so negative defense, but more damage. He is also pretty high initiative. We have the Assassin's Armor. Like if you can loot Assassin's Armor, very nice nimble armor. And yeah, this is a more realistic brother, by the way. This is like another Oath Taker. I think this was our starting Oath Taker. And yeah. You basically look for an Oath Taker who's like 2 stars in melee skill, at least 1 star defense, and ideally 3 stars in initiative, right? That's kind of what you look for. Yeah, you will never find a brother like this. Yeah, it's the best fencer I have ever built and will ever build. Okay, so I will try to show you the fencer in a fight, and it's not gonna be a nice fight. Do we have to fight the Chosen? Oh, Plethora of Thoughts. Let's show you at the Plethora of Thoughts. I could have shown you the Chosen fight, but that's basically the biggest problem. Like the Fencer is not the best against highly armored targets that apply a lot of debuffs, right? So let's do my speed mod here, so we are a little bit faster. As you can see, once you go to roughly 120 initiative, you outspeed everything in the game. Means you will always act first. And I think goblins are the fastest in the game with like 130. So even bad fencers that don't have the perfect gear will always have 140 initiative plus, right? Which means you will always go first with these guys. That's another benefit of them. Alright, so we're gonna wait. Normally this lowers your initiative by 25% because we have Relentless. It doesn't do that. And here we come. Targets like this are ideal, and I'm going to show you how my fencers will solo this fight. Alright. Enemy thralls, they always charge you, so it's very easy. Okay. So now we walk, and here we can see launch attack means we basically jump one tile and then we apply massive damage. Fencer requires some forward thinking, right? We always want to have one tile 3. And the biggest issue with the Fencer is if we don't one-shot our target the first try, we are not proccing Killing Frenzy, and now we might get stuck in combat, which we really don't want. But a good Fencer, you can see we hit our 95s, and we are just an absolute monster. But you can see the fatigue cost, it's insane. If you don't have recover, this build does not work. Yep, missed our 95s. Thank God we have another opportunity, which we also missed. Yeah, shit happens. And now we are stuck in combat. The thing that I just talked was bad. Thank God we have Berserk, which will get us out of trouble here. As you saw right there. And now we basically have the choice. Who wants to die? Right? And we jumped this guy, so we are now here. So we can jump back, kill this guy, and then hit this guy. Okay, let's check out the current defense. You can see we are down. We have used all of our fatigue up. So we are at 136 initiative and we have 59 melee defense with an Oath that reduces our melee defense. So we are at currently, normally under normal circumstances, we would have 64 melee defense right now. You can see fully out of fatigue. So this is the worst it's gonna get. We still have plus 20 melee and range defense. And the thing is basically, if you level initiative every single time, you can get most Oath takers, or basically every Oath taker, to like 150 initiative on average. That's good enough already, right? Ideally you want to have 170, but like without triple stars, this is like impossible to achieve. So 1 star on initiative is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. You can see this guy has plus 21. Because, you know, he has still a little bit fatigue left. He will drop soon, and this means also this guy has 50 fatigue. 50 melee defense basically left. Alright, so you could see the carnage that fencers can do. And there is... You can kind of see they get countered by adrenaline. So, yeah, against barbarians, they're not the best. See, and this is one of these moments where we kill an opponent, we trigger Berserk, and now we recover. Same here. Right? While the rest of our boys tank for us. And look at that. And another one. And we're out of fatigue, sadly. Damn it. Well, holy fuck. Look at that. Oh my god, yes. There's nothing in this game that can give you this high. Oh. And maybe like a big sword lance that decapitates 3 enemies in a row. And then berserks and does it again. Something like this, but like... Fencers are so much fun. Is Fencer a necessary build for Battle Rush? Absolutely not. You can completely skip it. It is, like from a meta perspective, probably a pretty weak build because it has a lot of weaknesses and you need a perfect bro that doesn't exist. And even if you get a perfect bro, you won't have enough stats. Like you will never get somebody like he's confident, 121 melee skill. You can't beat that, right? And this is still not enough, right? You still want more fatigue, more resolve, more hit points, more defense. Like you don't have the stats normally. So it's an impossible bro to make, but it's insanely fun. Like one of the most fun builds in the game, I would say. The funniest build, the most enjoyable build. Yeah, and I'm a fan. So if you find an oath decker that has good attack, defense, and some initiative, right, you know what to do next. You have my build guide. Again, these are the perks. The mod that I'm using that basically lets me max perks is Plan Your Perks. You can download this on Nexus Mods. Highly recommended. This gets saved once you save. So like you can basically use this and mark the perks that you want to take. So you don't have to name your bros FENCER. You already have it planned out. Right, and on these kind of builds where you have no room for error, you can't take the wrong perk, it's pretty important that you map everything out perfectly, right? Or else you're gonna miss a perk in the end that might be crucial. Yeah, alright. Yeah, again, like Fencers, they annihilate goblins, brigands, lower tier barbarians. They will slaughter stuff like noble houses. Absolutely. Yeah, nomads have sand, but outside of sand you can kind of dodge sand if you're lucky. Like there's a trick with the waiting tactic. You can, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get into this topic, but like stuff like nomads can get absolutely ravaged if the sand wears off, right, by fencers. So against a decent amount of opponents, like these two fencers can basically solo all of these enemy parties in the game, right? Like these low tier enemies, they will just get absolutely destroyed. You can see the damage numbers, 864 and 892. Yeah, it's not even close. And just for shit and giggles, I will show you a bad fight, where now we fight Unholz and Chosen. They are okay against Reavers, but against Chosen who have like heavy armor and Battleforged, not the best. Also, like once they hit us, we have a problem. I will still try to see what we can do. Still high hit chance. I can see we do about a third of HP. That's about it. And that's just not enough, right? These guys will die. This was a headshot, so we did almost kill him here. But yeah, for the big guys, you know, you have to bring out your two-handers to do the job. And now we are stuck in combat. We have no underdog. No 9 lives. They will murder us. Unless you get lucky. So this Fencer is kind of in a position where he might require saving, basically. Despite that, if they wouldn't have adrenaline, we would still act before them. And you can see the guys who didn't adrenaline act after us. Yeah, that's the problem. We are alone by ourselves. Our morale dropped. We got hit. Yeah, we are in trouble. I could have fenced on this guy and then on this guy to get myself out of this dire situation. Back to my main line. I didn't do that. And now because we got hit, we got staggered, which is also a big weakness. If you get hit with any kind of debuff, like the stagger gives you -50 initiative. Now our damage is gone and our major defensive source is also gone. And yeah, we are kind of fucked. Of course, this is an extreme example, but you can see the limitations of this build and why it's not really meta if you fight like tough enemies, basically, right? And you can see you can see what kind of carnage my two-handers do in comparison, right? You know, you're gonna need the right tool for the job, and in this case, the right tool for the job is absolutely these guys. Right? Not these guys. The fencers die. Right. They just die in these fights. Meanwhile, the rest of us, like the big boys, they are quite content with the carnage. They like it. Right. They don't mind smashing a couple chosens. Quick and trick with the berserk. Yeah, much better. Do we have quick hands on him? We do. Not bad, not bad. Yeah. Godbro still holding, but he would eventually die here now. Alright. So, yeah, that's kind of the general idea of the build. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you have any kind of questions, drop it down in the comments below. Yeah, and I hope I explained every small detail to a degree enough where even new players who don't understand the concept of this build can now understand it, right? And if people tell you something about the FENCER, you might have enough knowledge now to know what's happening. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.